Where do you find that you get the most things to work with in your material?
They usually just sort of occur to me. It's either something occurs to me, quite often randomly out of the blue. I'll be walking along or whatever, riding my bike or something, and then something occurs to me, or it's anecdotal. So I experience a thing and then I talk about it. Uh, and Obviously my life has changed dramatically by having a child now, which the last special reflected some of that. And that I am very conscious though of not doing too much dad stuff. I really don't want to do that. But I have made some observations that I are funny. She's funny, and I'm not, and it's worthy subject matter. If I didn't think it was, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
So there's definitely that is a big, the bulk of my day is with my kid too. So
Yeah. I mean, it sounds to me like you really like the writing aspect of what you do and the creating of what you do. And so how does that compare with doing, say a bit in Modern Family or, being in a movie, something like
they're
that?
completely different. That's apples and oranges. I mean, one is you get to go do this funny scene with other funny people, and you get to play in it, depending on the director and the kind of show. Like, you get to find these things and you get to do a character which is arch or silly or has these certain mannerisms, whereas when I'm doing stand up, that's just me having a either a monologue or a dialogue with other people in the moment as me, and those are my thoughts, and you can be funny in different ways, but they're completely different things.
So what do you prefer?
They both have their pluses and minuses. I think if I lived in some very strange world where I was forced to choose one, I don't know what society has become. That's happened. But if I had to choose just one, it would be stand up.
Yeah, I figured you would say that. And I think that about a lot of people when when you can tell that someone loves what they do and that that's their passion and that's what they're good at doing. And you see that I see it with musicians, I see it with comedians. You don't see it as much for me with actors because they're just playing a part of somebody else. It's not them. Lou, I'm telling you, Lou, cut it. So, it's just different. I feel like with comics and musicians, you're seeing a bit of them. You're seeing them in their work that they're putting out like an artist, whereas, playing a part is playing a part.
Yeah, and it's usually somebody else has written those words for you to say. So yeah, and when you're doing stand-up or your music, you're expressing yourself and your ideals and what's important to you, and then yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's what's really amazing. But then, you get to do, I mean, I guess it's nice to just have the total variety. I mean, I'm trying to do that now with doing a little bit of everything and just trying to do that. But what do you think now going forward, now that we're getting rid of Trump? And I know that you sort of joked about that you're not really liking having him for material. Like you would prefer to not have him for that material. So what going forward do you see happening now that we're getting rid of the occupant of the White House?
Well, I think it'll be a lot of, while I did have Trump material, it's there's actually less than you might imagine. Even though I've referenced him, it's a lot of it is about his fan base and the people that enabled that. So I'll continue to talk about that.
They're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere, and they existed long before Trump was around. And it'll. I'm sure I will do more stuff about how weak and feckless Democrats are, and I would imagine that'll come into play at some point. And but who knows? I mean, I would be thrilled if things got, not that I think they will, but if things got better to the point where it's like, you know what, this really isn't, I don't want to do this for a half hour of my set, talk about, Biden and obstructionism and hopefully I won't feel the need to make those jokes, or they won't occur to me, because things won't be that bad.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, here's hoping. I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be pretty awful and going to continue to be. Maybe I can make more jokes about the Republicans' reaction to Sandy Hook.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty pathetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So stop it. So you're laughing at me. I'm like,
Lou. It's Lou.
It's Lulu, and she's a fluffy little white thing that with a serious attitude. And
I can tell by the bark. I can't see her, but I can tell. Yeah, no, she's a fluffy little white thing.
She's fluffy.